That's been on the terms of service for forever. Here we go again. Here we go again. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the wrong business. Andrew, why'd you get into YouTubing? It's just so much easier in YouTubing to just make the clickbait title about how evil the big company is and just get the rage bait in there, do zero research, post it, and rake in the money. But no, I have to go and do 2 minutes of research and find out that it's completely false. Which sucks, by the way. I hate the fact that I'm defending this company all the time. Like, I don't have any favor to Crunchyroll. I don't care. Like, if Crunchyroll failed tomorrow, it would suck because access to anime would take much longer. But I don't have, like, stake in Crunchyroll. They don't like me. They kicked me out of judging the awards. They sent me emails telling me to hopefully take down a video. Like, they don't like me. But here I am having to defend them all the time. Anyways, to get people caught up on what's going on here, I gotta get some context here. Let's get some context here. For those that missed it, about a week ago, a bunch of username and passwords have been spread onto the internet. Some user on X had posted, hey, here's a whole bunch of usernames and passwords for Crunchyroll. And of course, a lot of people, including myself, was a little bit concerned, like, oh, is this possibly a data breach? Now, that typically doesn't work that way because typically they don't store the passwords in plain text on a damn website. It happens. But anyways, you're not supposed to put that stuff in plain text. So anyways, a lot of people were concerned, including myself. I told people, hey, we don't know yet if it's a data breach or if it's just possibly a malware. Eventually, Anime News Network contacted Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll said, we are aware of the login credentials for several streaming services, including Crunchyroll, were posted on social media and have resolved the issue. Now, this is a key point right here they're already pointing out, that this is multiple streaming services. This isn't just Crunchyroll. What was in this batch was not just Crunchyroll. We have secured the affected accounts, investigated the situation, and determined that there is no evidence that Crunchyroll systems have been compromised. Crunchyroll encourages subscribers to diversify and change their passwords regularly and keep them confidential. For any questions regarding account security, fans can visit our customer service help page. Now, yes, of course, a lot of people are going to go, oh yeah, they investigated themselves and found them having no wrongdoings. But this is true. If you actually go and look at like different websites that actually aggregate, leaks and whatnot, you'll find that if you put a lot of these emails in there, you're going to find them a part of this same Stiller log. These were things that were stolen through malware. Somebody has a malware, some like cheat software or whatever on their computer. Oh, I want to be able to do like headshots in Call of Duty or whatever. Some sort of software that is a malware is on their computer and they go in to type their information and it's stealing that information, putting it all into a massive log. Again, similar to what Crunchyroll said here, several streaming services. These are credentials that were used on multiple platforms that were all stolen by this same log. So for me personally, that tells me I'm 99.9999% sure that this is all malware and has nothing to do with a data breach. And technically, Crunchyroll would be legally obligated to tell you if they've seen signs of a data breach. They are legally require that because they have your personal information. They can get in a lot of trouble if they don't tell you. So that said, that aside, so we got that information out there. Somebody posted that information, people freaked out, Crunchyroll responded. So that brings us to now, where we have the newest debacle that's happening around Crunchyroll, which is, yes, that they updated their terms of service. And a lot of people noticed a particular segment of it that says, you are responsible for safeguarding and maintaining the confidentiality of your username, password, and corresponding Crunchyroll account information. And everybody's going, they updated their terms of service, and now they're saying it's your fault, not ours, that your information got out there. Again, we've already established it wasn't them that got the username and passwords out there. It was people using malware, and they lost their own damn information. But yes, technically, most every single online service is going to have a segment like this where it says you're responsible for it. If you lose that information, it's your own damn fault. It's a given, right? If I were to give somebody my house keys, I'm not going to blame the insurance company if it gets broken into, right? But here's the sticker. Here's the funny bit. Despite the fact that everybody wants to post this and go, lol, they changed their term of services now that says if you lose your username and password, it's your own damn fault. That's been on the terms of service for forever. Just do a quick archive.org search for the damn terms of service page, and you'll find that as far back as I can go is 2008. I went back, as far back as I can go is 2008. And guess what it says in 2008? You are responsible for safeguarding and maintaining the confidentiality of your username, password, and corresponding Crunchyroll account information. It's been on the terms of service as far back as we can even go in the damn archive. What? People, do 2 minutes of research. 15 seconds of research. Just put the URL into archive.org and go, let's pop back for a few days. If I were to put this side by side with just like a little over a week ago, this is going to be before this change was made. It's as simple as scroll down the two of them alongside each other, and you will find what was actually changed. In section 1 specifically, what was changed is right here. Use of services are only for your personal, non-commercial use, and not for the use or benefit of any third party. You may not transfer, sell, purchase, barter, or trade your subscription, or attempt to offer to do so. Any attempt to transfer will be null and void. You will not use your subscription or the services for any fraudulent purposes. Now, this could just be in the works already, or this could be something in response to what currently happened. I can see that, yes, this could possibly be a method for them to safeguard themselves when it comes to the idea of somebody selling all those accounts. But I don't necessarily believe this has anything to do with that malware spreading of information, logins and username and passwords. All those username and passwords that were spread, I don't think this has anything to do with it. Because there is several other areas later on that are actually changed in here as well. I think there's some sections in the later sections that are just kind of reworded, so they're a little bit more, they make a little more sense. But again, the key thing to note here is that it's always been in there. All the way back as far as 2008, they have always had it in there. And like I said before, this is standard fare for these sites. Now, I think the other thing that should be noted here, and this was the initial thing that I came up with, when people were pointing this out and saying, oh my gosh, they added this username password thing in there. I believed it initially because I'm like, oh, that makes sense because they just had this whole malware leaking of all the information. This is their way of protecting themselves. And even to the point of this person right here, where they're pointing out this change. It's your fault, not theirs. Let's just say that this was true. Let's just say, for example, that this was true. That Crunchyroll did add this segment in their terms of service now after that breach. Which again, it's not a breach. It brings up the concerns to people that terms of services essentially give you no ability to fight back against companies. That is not true. I think this is a thing that most people don't really understand. And if you ask any lawyer, most lawyers would probably tell you the same thing. Terms of services are not legal arguments. They're a way of pre-establishing the terms, but they in no way enforce anything. Any lawyer worth anything will tell you three things. Nobody reads the terms of service. It's got too much jargon in it that most people would not even understand it, and a lot of lawyers don't understand them. And 3, they don't allow a company to take away a consumer's rights. A terms of service can say if you get injured by using this product, you can't sue us. But if you get injured, you can take them to court. And they will tell the judge, we said in the terms of service that if you get injured, you can't take us to court. And the judge will go, well, that's great. Now tell me your case. They don't care what the terms of service says. They're going to find out if the company was liable for doing harm to you. Terms of services mean jack squat. Like I said, they're pre-establishing terms, but they're never restrictions to what you can do to a company. If Crunchyroll were to lose your username and password and it causes you damages, you can take them to court. But yeah, that's the update for you guys. Again, I get a little frustrated sometimes. I feel, by the way, I'm sick right now. I get a little frustrated sometimes when I see this information kind of getting spread out there. And even like I said before, I immediately believed it because I'm like, well, yeah, they had those username and passwords get out there. But then, like I said, 2 seconds of research and you'll see that it's not true. It's too easy sometimes to accept things when it seems like it's just kind of a no-brainer. But like I've said before, and I've said it a million times, if you guys have a problem with Crunchyroll, I don't mind. Again, I said it before, I don't have any stake in Crunchyroll. Ever since Funimation bought them out, I have had barely any contact with them. They don't reach out to me anymore. I think a lot of my relationship with them has pretty much been burnt, and I think a lot of that had to do with my video that I made on them about the Crunchyroll games. I've made criticisms of them before, and so they don't really like me. But like I've said before a million times, if you guys want change with companies like this, if you have a real problem with Crunchyroll, if you have a real problem with Sony, find real problems. If you bring up problems like this post means nothing to them. Well, it's not true, so we don't have to change anything. Every time you criticize Crunchyroll for something that's not actually happening, they go, well, seems like everybody's fine because that's not true. If you create too much information and anger and outrage about misinformation, guess what happens? Real problems that people are expressing can't get to the top, and thus they never see it. Your real issues with them die in a blanket of misinformation. Again, I've said this a million times. If you have a problem with a company, Find true faults. Otherwise, nothing changes. But what am I here? I'm just a small man on a small YouTube channel screaming out the sky, being clouded out by all the clickbait that's going on right now. And again, I hate it because I don't like Crunchyroll. It's not like I'm fans of them. And I find myself defending them, and I hate it. And I get the comment section like, my gosh, this is why I pirate. Oh my gosh, why are you defending Crunchyroll? You're a Crunchyroll simp. I just like people focusing to real criticism. Anyways, I hope you guys found this information entertaining, at least to my sick self that's cranky right now because I woke up with a sore throat and did 2 seconds of research to find this crap as bull crap. Anyways, take care.